What's up, everybody? Coming to you live tonight from the garage. It's been a while, and I apologize. Been trying to put some miles on when this weather cooperates, but here in Southern Illinois, it's not cooperating. Highlight of this video tonight is going to be another Harley Davidson. Yeah, I think so. So if you followed the channel for any length of time or look back at some old videos, you'll see that I bought a 1996 Harley Davidson Sportster 883 stock bike. Great little bike, low mileage, with intent of building a chopper. Well, throwback to last summer, I ended up donating / helping fund a project at our local high school. Richland County, Illinois, only high school. Jordan in the shop decided he wanted to build a chopper and let the kids build it. So I got involved with that program, and lo and behold, it's done. I'm going to see if I can't drop a picture of that thing in the middle of this video right now up here. But I'll tell you what, that bike turned out phenomenal. So long story short, I didn't build my bike over the winter like I wanted to. So perfectly fine with that. Those kids built a phenomenal bike. Since then, they've got other partners on board. Harley Davidson out of Effingham, Legacy Harley Davidson. They've got on board for next year, and they've already got a bike secured. They're going to build an Ironhead Sportster chopper, or Ironhead Sportster in general. They got a couple different options they can go. So with that being said and done, we're raffling off that bike on Saturday. So that bike is going to go to a new home. I do not have a ticket in the mix. I wish, because it's a beautiful bike. Sold 300 tickets. Got my initial investment back. That bike will go to a new home. Gave them a good chunk of money to start up for next year so that they have a foundation to build another great bike. So with my initial investment back, I need to buy another bike. I don't need to, but I want to. My problem is I'm very indecisive. And that money, for lack of better terms, is burning a hole in my pocket, as my wife would say. So I want to get your guys' thoughts. I got 3 bikes that I've kind of narrowed it down to right now. There's others, but I just don't think I want to spend that much more on another payment when I got a payment on this one and a payment on hers. But those 3, in no particular order, and I'll go oldest to newest. 1995 Dyna Lowrider, and I'm going to try to insert a picture of that one here also. Beautiful bike, low mileage, 19,000 miles on this bike. The guys put a set of like little T-bars on it, lowered shocks, straight pipes. Beautiful bike, 2-tone. So that's my first choice. Good old EVO motor. Best Harley motor ever built, in my opinion, and a lot of others. Second bike, one I've wanted for a long time, or at least that year. 2003 Heritage Softail anniversary. So my idea with that one would be cholo it out, because I love that look. It's a great bike to do it. Anniversary model, keeping the tins. I love that color. It's a silver and black. It has a set of long shots on it right now. Eventually, I would do the full cholo, or at least my version of it. I got a couple different options. Definitely go with the spoke wheels. Definitely go probably with Carlini bars. And then I'm torn because I like the Samson duals. I wouldn't go fishtails, I'd go straight cuts. But I also, not the true cholo Velicta look, but I'd love to put a thunder header on it. I think it would look great with a chrome thunder header with those spoke wheels, really exposing that back wheel. The sound would be great. Throw a Woods TW9 cam in it, and run. Make it look good, shine it up, put some chrome on it, and run it. Third bike. And this color, I seen it years ago, but I kind of fell in love with it again just recently. Kind of after we did her purple on her bike. And I'm not going to copy it because mine would be different. In 2014, Harley Davidson came out with some candy colors. Hard candy colors, to be specific. That color that I like, and all those candy colors were a limited production color. For you all out there that might be familiar with them, the Sportster 72 kind of was the ones that set the tone for that color. There was a silver, there was a red, there was a green, and the one I want is the purple. Hard candy, voodoo purple, metallic. But what I'm running into, that color is very hard to find. And I mean very hard to find. So in a Harley Davidson search of used motorcycles and a 550 mile plus radius, which takes me coast to coast anywhere in the United States, that Harley has listed in their used inventory, I have found three. And they're all deluxes, which I'm fine with. 3 purple hard candy voodoo deluxes. Bad part is there ain't none of them close to here. There's one in Black Hills, South Dakota. There's one in Susquehanna Valley, Harley Davidson, out in Pennsylvania. And the other one is in San Diego, California. That's the 3 that I've found so far. I'm not saying there's not more out there. That is the 3 that I've found so far. The downside is those 3 are way higher than I want to be. So, in a marketplace search, and this is the third one that, other than the color, this is the third one I want. I found a 2014 Dyna Street Bob. Kind of the Dyna Bro look. Has a Two Brothers exhaust on it. It has the T-bars. It has the Legend suspension. It has all that. Guy's got a great price on it. I'm not going to argue the price because he's right where it should be. 20,000 miles almost on the dot. And it is the Voodoo Purple with black. So, it's in Dayton, Ohio though. It's about a 6-hour drive for me to get to Dayton, Ohio from where I'm at. So, the first 2 that I said, that's kind of a cash deal, out the door, no problem. If I go with any of the purple ones, I'm going to have to borrow some money. Whether it's my local bank, whether it's through Harley Financial, wherever. So that's where I'm in that dilemma of, do I borrow a little bit to get the Dyna? Or do I borrow about half, maybe a little bit more, to get the Deluxe? The Deluxe in Pennsylvania, it is available. I called the dealership. Beautiful bike, long shots on it. I think they're a little high priced on it. I know those Deluxes are selling high because they are in demand and people want them. But for 48,000 miles, I think it's a little high. The other one that I seen, there may be 4, I guess, or maybe 4 total, not 3. Another one I seen was almost the same exact price, but it only had 16,000 miles on it. The one up in South Dakota, they're at that 15 mark, but it has paint matched hard bags. It doesn't have the true duals, but it does have the hard matched bags. San Diego, that's not even an option. So that's my 3. And I didn't even see any Dynas used in that color because I searched Harley for purple. There are a few 72s out there I've seen on Marketplace. I did not see any on Harley's page, but I don't think some of the dealerships put their full inventory on there. I could be wrong on that, but I didn't really see any Sportsters, and I know there's a bunch out there. So it's kind of hard to find one. And when you do find that voodoo purple, especially on Marketplace, those guys are proud of it because they want a fortune for those. I've seen them upwards of $11,000 for a Sportster. There ain't no way I'm going to buy a Sportster 72 for $11,000. That's like brand new price. Is almost what they paid for it back in 2014. You know, it was probably a $12,000 to $13,000 bike back then, maybe a little bit more, because that was a special color. And they are all chromed out. They got the chopper bar, you know, the ape hanger bars from the factory. They got the nicer seat. But man, that color's hard to find. So feel free to chime in on this because I'm going to put it on several social media platforms. If y'all made it through this far in the video, throw a comment in there what you all think. I know the EVO is a good solid motor. Those early twin cams, they had some issues with the compensator, the cam chain tensioner. Not a big deal to fix it. Change it out, switch it out to the newer updated version so it lasts. Both of those bikes have right at 20,000 miles, 21,000 miles on them. So the Deluxe, it's a lot of miles. It is super clean. It's the purple I want. The Dyna, it's at that 20,000 mile mark. Doesn't scare me on a 103 twin cam. With some goodies. I mean, that guy has a bunch of money and accessories. The Legend suspension alone is probably $2,000. $1,000 in bars probably. $1,000 in a pipe. Spoke wheels, all blacked out. Does have a Power Vision. At least it's tuned by Power Vision, whether it's a license or a program. I don't know. I messaged them and waiting to hear back. But then it's a drive over there to get it and borrowing a little bit of money. So me being indecisive, that's where I'm at. It's hard to spend $6,000, $7,000 on a Sportster, which I love my Sportsters. Don't get me wrong. Nothing against them. We've had two recently. But if I'm going to spend $7,000, I can go get a Dyna. And even if it's not purple, I can still go get a Dyna for $7,000 right now. I bone stock, factory exhaust, street bob, and a 96-inch all day long. 08 and newer. I don't like the 06, 07s with the transmission issues they had. But my indecisiveness on what direction to go. Shoot me a comment. See what you think. We're going to add a bike, and we're going to start doing some stuff on it for this channel and see what we can come up with. I got a bunch of Sportster parts back there if anybody's needing anything. It was all the ones taken off that bike from the school. I got a full tin set, come off a 96. Rear fender, front fender, tank. It would need painting. The tank's not bad, but the others would need painted. Shocks, wiring. Wiring's probably not usable. Odds and ends stuff, probably junk. A lot of stuff that most guys take off when they build a chopper out of them is probably most of it's junk. If anybody needs something, Speedo is in there. Let me know. It'll be cheap. The tins I am going to try to sell. I'll probably throw those on eBay or Marketplace or both. I got the whole front end. So I got the Narrow Glide Sportster front end, 39 millimeter. And I got the front 13 spoke cast wheel to go with it. I know a lot of the Dyna guys like those. A lot of Sportster guys that have spokes want those. So I'm going to list that too. I have the front end listed. I've had a few messages on it. I've not put it on eBay yet. But I'm going to take that one down and try to put the entire front end on and see what we can come up with there. Because I'd like to sell it. Because right now, I'm not looking at a Sportster. So I don't think I'm going to need it. If I don't sell it, it'll sit up in the garage attic for a while. And if I find another cheap Sportster that I want to build something out of to rip around, I will. But, yeah. So that's where I'm at. Indecisiveness could have been the title of this video, probably. because, or going down in flames because something's going to get brought in here. I just don't know what bike yet. Man, I love the EVO. I've always wanted an old EVO. Solid carbureted bike. That's why I bought that Sportster, because it was a 96. It was carbureted. I was going to learn to carburate it, work on those carburetors and adjust them and tweak them. And I was going to build something out of it. Lowrider, it's kind of built, but I would change the bars and I would change the exhaust. It has straight drags on it. I would go to a 2-in-1 Thunderheader. And maybe throw a cam in it. It's not going to be a hot rod. It's an EVO. But it would sound good. And it'd run pretty good. Twin cam, like I said, Cholo build, 03 anniversary. They look beautiful choloed out, all chrome. I love chrome. That's why my bike's chrome. I'm waiting on them chrome wheels. I'm hoping they can get here someday soon. I can take the money right now and go get them, but I really want a third bike. I say third bike. Second bike for me, third bike total because of hers. Or do I dyna bro it? Go to that dyna, and be able to go and rip around on that, kind of like I wanted to do on that Sportster. So, I'm going to wrap this one up for tonight. So hopefully in the next one, we'll have another bike sitting here. Because I go to look at two of them this week. I go to look at the EVO, and I go to look at the 03 Heritage. I go to look at both of those this week. Probably one Thursday and one on Saturday. I would say if he comes down a little bit more on price on that Heritage, that's probably the one that'll end up sitting here because it's the best deal. But if she tells me, hey, go ahead and go borrow $3,000 probably, that dyna will come home. Or if she's feeling super generous and says, go get that deluxe, that's the one you really want, I may have a video of a road trip to Pennsylvania to go get that deluxe. Because, especially if they come down on it. If they'd come down to the $10,000 mark, even with that mileage on it, it's still worth 10 in my opinion. If they come down to that $10,000 mark, and she said to go ahead and go get it, I'd probably be making a road trip out to Western, because I'd stop at my brother's house in Western Pennsylvania. And then I'd continue on to Eastern Pennsylvania, clear out near Harrisburg, almost on either side of Pennsylvania. It'd probably be a 2-day trip out and a 2-day trip back. But I would probably go out 600 miles to go get that bike. Because I'm not going to pay $700 to ship it. Yeah, I would be close in that to, and what I'm going to have at $5 plus a gallon right now, I would have about that in gas and hotels. I'd be able to stay one night at my brother's house. That would save me, a hotel there each way. So there's $200 to $300 right there, probably save $200 anyways. But yeah, unless I can make it from his house there to get the bike and back to his house in one day and then back to here the next day, that would be cheap doing it that way. But I'd still have $250 to $300 in fuel right now, and haul bikes I think is about $700 to ship it from there to here. So we'll see. Indecisive. I kind of rambled on a little longer than I wanted to on this one. I was hoping to keep it under 10 minutes. Trying to do better than that because I know y'all don't like watching these long ones. But anyways, we're going to get out of here for tonight. It's raining. It's cold. It's miserable here in southern Illinois. It's okay because we do need a little bit of rain. It's still a little dry. Not no more though. With the rain we had the other day and last night and today, if they say we're in a drought, I don't believe them because it's pretty squishy. So with that one, drop me a comment. Let me know what you think. Like, subscribe, all that fun jazz. I don't put out a lot of videos. I'm just getting into it. It's just me here in the garage. A little bit of wrenching stuff, bike stuff. I've not dived into the Harley stuff yet on, Harley's big plans for next year. And I did put out a few new models. We did a bunch of dealership visits, stuff like that. And I'll still continue doing those. But it's just kind of me rambling on in the garage and see what y'all think, and, you know, putting some miles on these bikes, because I will have some ride videos as soon as this weather breaks. Our rally season is kind of up in the air at this point. We were going to go to Sturgis, but I think that may have changed. So with us riding with Rolling Thunder, we're going to put in some miles with those guys here locally this year. We might run down to Florida for POW MIA awareness. That's in September. If not, we're going to go to Lake of the Ozarks, I think, for Bike Fest. And then we're looking for some destinations just to go ride to. We're going to leave Southern Illinois and ride a day or two to somewhere, and then stay there for a couple days, and then ride back. Make a long weekend out of it. So if y'all got some destinations, I know Tail of the Dragon always comes up. You know, there's down Southern Illinois, you got Garden of the Gods. Beautiful country down there. We can go north, other than Chicago, and going through Chicago. With no Harley Homecoming this year, I wouldn't mind riding up there on a Wednesday. It's about 7 hours. We can ride up there, be there for bike night on Thursday night, hit the museum on Friday, do some other stuff Saturday, and ride home Sunday. So that might be in our plans once the weather warms up and it gets nice up there. But yeah, what other destinations you guys got? Midwest. 7 hours, 8 hours one way, maybe. You know, a full day of riding to get there. Maybe 2 days if we had to get there. Like Lake of the Ozarks, we can be there one day out west Missouri. Down into Arkansas, that general area, that's about a day ride. It's a long day, but it's about a day ride. You know, Pennsylvania, that's a long ride, but for me, it's doable in a day. It may be 2 days with her not having the experience and putting a lot of big miles in a day. So that might be a 2 day ride if we ride out to where I'm from, out in western Pennsylvania. And if we do, we're going to ride a lot of beautiful roads out there and get some great video and content of that area. And then, not only that, but hit a few cities. Pittsburgh's out there. Beautiful city. Tons of bridges. Home of the Pittsburgh Steelers, Pittsburgh Penguins, and the Pirates. You know, baseball's not been my thing, but, you know, Erie, we can go up north in Pennsylvania, up along the lake. You know, we can ride in Erie, we can go up into New York, and eventually you'll wind up at Niagara Falls if you wanted to. You know, or if you go the other way, go to Cleveland, you go to Rock and Roll Hall of Fame, you can go up Sandusky, you know, right along the lake. Ohio Bike Week's out there, but unfortunately, with my work, it interferes first week of June. June's a busy month for us at work, so. But with that, I'm going to jump off, message a couple people. I'm going to try to see if I can't sell these red wheels and all these red parts I got for this bike and finish out this chrome. So if you're looking for red for the new 24s and ups, I got a crash bar that's drilled and drilled so you can pre-wire, internal wire, Baja lights, S1s for your fog lights. I love them. I put them on my chrome one too and I switched them out. I got the tank dash. I got the fender supports in the back that are chrome or black normally. I got those done in red. I got, let's see, what else do I got? I got the actual, like I said, crash bar. I got the shifter. I got derby cover. It's still on there. I got the derby cover. The chrome cam cover, I had it cleaned off so because I didn't have a second one. But any of the red pieces that I got are going to be for sale, including the wheels. The wheels, there'll be one stipulation though. If you got a 24 with factory wheels, I need those on trade. So basically, you trade me your stock wheels or a set of wheels that will fit on my 24, and you can do the red ones for a couple $100. And basically all that is the cost of powder coating. I have way more than that in them because I had to put new bearings in them and stuff like that, mount and balance. But if you're local, we can figure that out. Or you can send me your wheels, I'll swap them and I'll send them back to you. So keep an eye out for those on eBay if anybody's on there and you're looking. I will put them on Marketplace. Kind of hard to get that stuff out there on Marketplace. But with that one, y'all have a great night. I'm going to get out of here. Stay dry. Stay safe. We'll catch you on the next one.